A rare celestial event is about to grace the skies in October 2025, the October harvest moon, which will also be the year's first supermoon. This means a brighter, slightly larger full moon close to the horizon at dusk, perfect for those moments when you're walking home, cooking dinner, or simply gazing out the window. No telescope needed, just a clear sky and a moment to pause and appreciate the beauty above. Imagine a moon that looks like a paper lantern, orange at first, then creamier, illuminating the street and causing a moment of pause in your day. This is what you can expect, only a touch bigger and brighter than usual. But why is this harvest moon so special? Well, it's all about the calendar and the moon's orbit. Most years, the harvest moon graces us in September, closest to the autumnal equinox. However, in 2025, the full moon closest to that date falls in early October, making it a rarer occurrence. And when you factor in that the moon is also near its closest point to Earth, you get the first supermoon of the year. This means the moon will be up to 14% larger and around 30% brighter than an average full moon, a difference that will be noticeable when it's hanging low over rooftops or the sea. The moon's cycle is a bit like a dance with our calendar. The equinox is fixed, but the moon's cycle is slightly shorter than our months, shifting forward each year. Some years, the September full moon is a bit too far from the equinox, while the October full moon is closer and takes the harvest moon title. Then there's perigee, the point where the moon's orbit brings it closest to Earth, which moves through the year in its own rhythm. When these two patterns align, we get a night that makes headlines. So, when and how can you see this spectacular event? Mark your calendars for the evenings of October 6th to 8th, with the main event on Tuesday, October 7th. Your local date may vary slightly by time zone. The rule is simple: the full moon rises around sunset and sets around sunrise. Look east as the sky softens, catch the moon as it rises above chimneys or trees, and track it as it lightens to a pearl-like glow. Whether you're in the city or the countryside, the horizon is the star of the show. To make the most of this experience, find a spot with a clear eastern view, like a canal towpath, a hill, a seafront, or a playing field after the last whistle. It's all about the logistics: a coat, a few extra minutes, and a slower walk home. Think of the moon as a patient performer that rewards a little stagecraft. If the forecast is unpredictable, give yourself a 48-hour window around the full moon. The nights before and after can look nearly identical to the eye. You don't need special gear, you need a place where you won't be rushed. As a Northumberland stargazer who's been logging moonrises for 2 decades says, you don't need special gear, you need somewhere you won't be hurried. The best time to look is around local sunset for the biggest, warmest tint near the horizon. Face east at moonrise and west at moonset. Use a compass app if you're turned around. Simple kit includes a warm layer, a torch with a red mode, and patience for passing clouds. For photography enthusiasts, use buildings, trees, or water to anchor the scale. Drop the exposure a stop to keep the disk from blowing out. Remember, supermoon isn't an official scientific term, but it's handy. In practical terms, it means the full moon lands close to perigee, adding a quiet punch of brightness and size that your brain registers best when the moon has context, like near a pier or a cathedral. The famous moon illusion at low altitudes makes it look enormous near the horizon. Your mind compares it with familiar objects and exaggerates the scale in a way a ruler wouldn't. The trick is to catch it low, the first 30 minutes after moonrise or the last 30 before moonset. The numbers matter less than the choreography of place and moment. Light pollution might dim the Milky Way, but it won't dim the moon. You can watch this from your back garden or a busy pavement, and the result will still feel intimate. If you head out to darker edges, the payoff is the landscape, the way the light floods a field or coastal path, how shadows stretch, and the ground glows. It won't demand a telescope, it will ask for your attention. Your mini plan for the night: start with a map and a horizon. Pin a spot with an open eastern view for moonrise, a bridge over the river, the brow of a hill, or an estate car park that faces into the sky. Note your local sunset time and arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to settle and let your eyes adjust. Phones can help, but don't overthink it. A simple moonphase app or a quick search for moonrise time plus your town will do. Whether you're a family, a commuter, or an early riser, this is a special night. It's a small, bright ritual for a busy year. You don't need a label to enjoy it, but names help us make space. The harvest moon hints at the old, practical glow that stretched evenings for gathering in the fields, and the October twist this year threads that story into our own schedules. The first supermoon of 2025 adds a bit of theater, a nudge to pay attention to a thing that arrives on time whether we do or not. There's a quiet democracy to it. People on night shifts see it. Kids in pajamas at the window see it. Runners on a towpath, smokers on a doorstep, grandparents on a bench, delivery drivers at red lights. Share a photo if you want, or don't. The real bit is that hush when it clears the rooftops and the whole street seems to breathe in, then exhale together. Key points to remember: the October harvest moon is a rare occurrence, and the full moon nearest the equinox falls in early October 2025, explaining why the harvest moon isn't in September this year. The 2025 first supermoon is a full moon that aligns near perigee, appearing larger and brighter, setting expectations for a noticeably striking moon. The best viewing window is the evenings of October 6th to 8th, with October 7th at the center. Look east at sunset for the best experience. FAQ: when exactly is the 2025 harvest moon? The full phase lands on October 7th, 2025, in UTC, with the spectacle essentially the same on the evenings of October 6th to 8th, depending on your time zone. Why is it called a harvest moon? It's the full moon closest to the autumnal equinox, linked with extra twilight for bringing in crops, thanks to later moonrises that reduce fully dark gaps after sunset. What makes it a supermoon this time? The moon reaches full near its closest point to Earth, known as perigee, so it appears up to 14% larger and noticeably brighter. What's the best time and direction to look? Face east around local sunset for moonrise. If you're up before dawn, face west for moonset. The low-altitude view delivers the most drama. Do I need equipment or a dark sky sight? No. You can enjoy it from a balcony or a bus stop. Binoculars add texture if you have them. A dark horizon helps with scenery, not with the moon's brightness itself.